What if I just kept my face down like this? Shit. That's what my dumb ass gets. Everybody, welcome back to this segment of A Writer's World. It's your girl Whitney, and today I am coming at you talking about, oh Lord, we are talking about repercussions. We are talking about, some outcomes that we kind of cause ourselves. Like, if you ever wonder why a lot of bad stuff is happening to you at one time, it's probably because your dumb self is doing it to your, no, I'm just kidding, but like, it's probably because you're accidentally, inconsequentially, irrevocably, and unknowingly and ignorantly, and whatever word that I can add, you're doing it to yourself. Now, I know I'm kind of, talking about, okay, repercussions. Is this not different than blocking your blessings? And I mean, yes, in a sense, but if you say you're still gaining your blessings or something like that as bad things are happening to you, and I'm not talking about out there like natural disasters or really bad hardships that are happening to you. I'm not listen, things that you cannot control, I am not talking about that by any means necessary. Let me tell you, that's dumb. Why would I do that? But because why you're not causing it yourself if it's things that you can't control. Anyways, so the reason why I am saying that you may be causing your own problems, or why we all have to kind of deal with the repercussions, is basically found through this sort of passage. Now, I don't want to come off as somebody who's better than, and I'm not trying to come off as somebody who's so knowledgeable about the Bible, because I'm not. I'm really not. However, my favorite book of the Bible is Proverbs, and Proverbs 30 verses 32 and 33 states, "If you play the fool and exalt yourself, or if you plan evil, clap your hand over your mouth. For as churning cream produces butter, and as twisting the nose produces blood, so stirring up anger produces strife." Now, basically what that means is saying, if you do the same thing over and over again and expect a different outcome, you're crazy. That is literally the definition of insanity. You can't cause anger and expect there not to be strife. You can't punch someone in the nose and expect there to, not be some sort of repercussions. And when I say that, I'm basically challenging everyone to kind of look deep into themselves and ask yourself, what are you doing that's causing certain, mishaps? I want to say, when you go out, do you drink too much than what you're supposed to, and then all of a sudden you're in a bar fight? Do you think maybe if you drunk less or didn't drink that much that you could avoid a bar fight? Or maybe just avoid the club overall, or maybe just go to a different club? You know what I mean? There are so many different ways and different paths that we can try to avoid problems that just seem to follow us wherever we go. And I'm not saying that all these problems are our fault, but what I'm saying is that there could be a step that we can take to sort of eliminate the problems that are coming our way. When we go into Proverbs 30 verse 32, the first verse that I gave you guys, that states, "If you play the fool and exalt yourself, or if you plan evil, clap your hand over your mouth." Now, that is basically telling us, you cannot play to be humble. You cannot play and act like you're, the greatest person in the world by any means necessary, because that is what a fool does. Don't praise yourself because, you didn't get there by yourself. And I know that's kind of it's kind of like a worldly thinking to think that oh, I did this all by myself, even though that's a hard topic to talk about. You know what I mean? Because it's there's some people who really did do it by themselves, but what I guess the Bible is trying to say is hey, but you also had these blessings. I also cleared a path to allow you to do this. Now, this is mainly for believers who believe in God, who would necessarily believe it okay, yeah, I didn't do it by myself. I had God with me. But I guess what they're saying is just eliminate the human factors for a minute. If you did everything by yourself without any human factors. I'm really finding very few circumstances where you know, no one said yes and you did it all by yourself. Like someone random had to say yes somewhere. So you have to understand that there are ways to get to where you are, and then you didn't do it necessarily by yourself necessarily. And so like this whole idea of self-made, yeah, you are self-made, but also don't forget your roots. That's what I think that verse is saying, not to forget your roots. Don't forget who you are, and don't forget the people who are around you. Help the people who are around you, and don't pat yourself on the back. Don't be like praising yourself in all this glory, you know, because it's like you have other things to do. That's what I took verse 32 to mean. Verse 33 states, "For as churning cream produces butter, and as twisting the nose produces blood, so stirring up anger produces strife." And that is basically where I got, like, you cannot expect a different outcome if you are still doing the same thing. That is literally the definition that I got, that I was like, wow. So God literally told us in this passage, like, yo, y'all are insane and I'm gonna need you guys to stop. So the reason why I wanted to talk about repercussions is because I want all of us to kind of stay humble, understand where you came from, understand that, you know, you don't have to be of where you originated, but you also have to stay humble and say, hey, I know I started out from here and this is what I did to make myself better, and I want to help anyone else who's around me. But like, also don't gloat, don't say you're amazing and you did it all by yourself. Don't be a jerk, basically. Like don't have so much pride that you lose sight of how you got there in the first place. And so why I'm saying that this is like an outcome, or this is like an element of repercussions, is because we often lose our path. We often lose our why. We often lose the reason why we are, you know, trying to do better for ourselves once we get there, right? Like once we got there and then we're just, you know, living in success, we often forget why we did that in the first place. Or even, you know, if a lot of bad things are happening to you, you often lose sight of, you know, the sun. See, when there's a lot of clouds in the sky, it's really hard for us to see the light. So I just wanted to let you guys know that, you know, it's a-okay. We got this. Remain humble. You know, don't focus too hard on the repercussions. Focus on your actions and think to yourself, where do I want my life to go? And then move. Thank you guys for tuning in today. It was great catching up with you all. Don't forget, I am trying to start this new segment on my channel where you guys send whatever it is that you want to send to my email. It is writersoneworld@gmail.com. Send your college problems, whatever problems you have, and I will give you my whack but hopefully efficient advice. I am very interested in helping anyone that's out there, even if it is just one person. Thank you guys. Everything that I stated in this video and the email is going to be in the description box below. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit the little bell notification so you never miss when I post a new video. Thanks, guys.